Go ahead. Let's give it a shot.
I say that you're a terrible reporter. That's what I say.
Asking a really snarky question.
Since taking office, President Trump's relationship with the press has always been contentious, but the way he interacts with the reporters has changed.
Thank you very much, everybody.
The coronavirus pandemic has overtaken all of our lives, and every day, millions of Americans turn on their television to watch the task force briefings for new information as they try to make sense of their new normal.
I want every American to be prepared for the hard days that lie ahead.
They move the briefings from early afternoon into an evening time slot when more people are tuned into the news. The president has even taken to Twitter to boast about his high ratings. And there's been a handful of heated exchanges.
I think it's a very nasty question, and I think it's a very bad signal that you're putting out to the American people.
So I think that there's really been an evolution in the Trump White House about how reporters get information. And it really started out with Sean Spicer, who was the first press secretary, who very early on in the administration set the tone for the relationship with the press corps.
That's what you guys should be writing and covering. That this, instead of sowing division about tweets and false narratives.
Oh, you can't hear me? I'm sorry. Better? Sarah Huckabee Sanders is going to be the press secretary.
We had Sarah Huckabee Sanders who, used the press briefing a lot of times to try to say that we were biased. And then she just stopped briefing entirely. I think it just became a battle that she didn't want to have.
Hold on, Jim, if you'll let me finish. Again, I'm not going to comment on the attorney's specific comments that I haven't seen. That's not what I said, and I know it's hard for you to understand, even short sentences, I guess.
She was followed by Stephanie Grisham, who has approached the job where I don't think that she talks with reporters extensively, and she doesn't brief. And really, Trump has taken the role of the communications and press secretary in that sense, in that he is the one that talks with reporters.
Grisham has been replaced by former Trump campaign spokesperson Kayleigh McEnany. There is one person uniquely positioned to understand the point of view of both the administration and the press.
Do you want like a risky business entrance? Hey, I'm Sean Spicer. I was President Trump's first press secretary. His interaction with the press has been a true evolution from day one to where it is now. Early on, I think we had a rather traditional model where I, as the press secretary, spoke on behalf of the administration. But Trump's a very unique person in the sense that I think he's very particular about the words that are chosen, the style that is chosen, and how his views are communicated.
Does the president even need a press secretary at this point?
Anybody who understands the role of press secretary knows that the briefing is just, at best, 5% of the day. Sometimes it's logistics. How do we get our cameras or get access? And so even without a briefing, the press secretary is still got a very exhaustive day.
Spicer has found his way back into the briefing room, now as a host for Newsmax on OAN, a seemingly pro-Trump news organization.
Second, if I may, sir, are you concerned about members of Congress that may have used information they learned on updates?
The White House Correspondents Association has removed OAN from its rotation of news organizations that get seats in the White House briefing room after one of its reporters twice defied social distancing policies.
Does that make your job easier or harder if you have to talk to the president directly versus going through a press secretary?
I think in the case of Trump, it makes it a lot easier because he is a mercurial person. He changes his mind on things. And so I think if you can ask him questions directly, you know what he's thinking, and he's telling you in that moment what he's thinking. So in that sense, I give him a lot of credit for coming out day after day and answering those questions.
The accessibility that we get with this president is like nothing that we've ever seen before. The not only the accessibility, but the frequency. And so I think that, the question is, what do you value more? So in that case, I think you would rate this president an A. I think in terms of the kumbaya, fun, do we get along thing, it's probably more, in the D category.
You've said repeatedly that you think that some of the equipment that governors are requesting, they don't actually need. You said New York might not need 30,000. You said it on Sean Hannity's Fox News. You said that
why don't you people act? Let me ask you.
You said
why
some states.
Why don't you act in a little more positive? It's always trying to
My question to you
get you.
There has been some debate over streaming the nightly task force briefings and giving the president so much screen time.
So I do think these briefings have become campaign rallies because they are one of his only outlets right now to speak to the American people and to get some energy. I also feel like, while they do allow Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx to make public health points, They also allow the president to score points that play well with his base.
I don't know where the press got their fake news, but they got it someplace. But
your re-election as an incumbent is judged on the job you did and the results that you got. And when your term is going to be judged in the context of a crisis, whether that's a financial crisis, a natural disaster, or what have you, then how you handle that and how people respond to how you handle that is paramount.
And you should be saying congratulations instead of asking a really snarky question, because I know exactly what you mean by that. And we will see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much. Thank you.